Hello. Welcome back to the second episode of the Ride Along with Chi Chi. I'm your host, Chi Chi, and if you're new here, well, welcome to the ride. And if you're returning, well, glad to have you back. So, let's ride. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be very real with y'all. I have been struggling to put out this episode. I think I've recorded like three times now, and every time I've deleted it. I guess like mentally, I took y'all's critique as criticism and like negative criticism, um, and it affected me greatly. So everything that I put out, I was like, it has to be perfect. No, I have to re-record it. No, I don't even mean that. No, why do I sound like that? So it took me, because I was doing that, I could not put out an episode last week. And it took me a minute to like sit with myself and be like, why am I doing this? The whole point of this podcast is to be imperfect and for me to learn and grow and y'all to see that growth as I go. So what was the point of me trying to be perfect? Um, yeah. So we're working on that. We're working on that. And today I was like, I'm just gonna record and I'm just gonna put it out. If it's good, great. If it's bad, great. At least I'm gonna get more advice and to help me better it. And I just stopped thinking about it negatively. Like, yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. Let me put this down a little bit. But no, guys, I was like, I also need like huge liquid courage. So yeah, that's what we have right here. A little bit of liquid courage. No, I'm so sorry I'm giggly. Not really. I realized I was reading from the script a lot last week or the week before that, and I didn't want to do that. So I want to be more relaxed. I want to be chill. I want to talk to you guys. And hopefully we can connect through all of this. So just bear with me. Let's do this. And let's get into the first episode. All right? All right. I think I'm recording. I hope I'm recording. But today's episode, big news, nothing major, whatever. But your girl is engaged. Yay! Oh my gosh, guys, the ring is beautiful. I can't wait to like drop the pictures. I've been so overwhelmed with everyone's messages. I was like, I need to put out this podcast. So it was my wait, hold on. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me rewind. It was my birthday on Sunday, June 15th, and he proposed the same day. The whole setup, my friends, you know that meme? If I catch you. But no, I love my friends. It was a surprise proposal, of course, but and a surprise birthday thingy. So it was really exciting. I swear. I think like I don't know. Start. Like it's cute. I'm sorry, but no. It was really exciting. I think it started off. Not I think, but it started off with him like picking me up. And he had like little notes in an envelope of like find the first place where we kissed. Where we like were two souls connected. It was so romantic, and I kind of like followed through. And in that moment, I knew that, oh my gosh, this dude was about to propose to me. But no, it was fun. I was so tipsy by the time I got to like the venue of where like the proposal happened. And I think he did that on purpose so I could not say no. But no, I was so like out of my mind. But no, it was really fun. All my friends were there. They helped organize it. It was great. It was exciting. It was more than I could hope for. Because honestly, I was thinking, oh, my birthday. I'm just gonna have a birthday dinner. Chill with my friends. Because we drove from Virginia to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, to be with our families and friends for my birthday. So it was a long drive, and I'm still like exhausted from the drive. So yeah, because we drove back, and today's Wednesday. We drove back. We got here yesterday, Tuesday, and we're still like in the excitement phase. I think sort of, or I am. So I'm too like I want to post and all of that, but I'm so like exhausted. And I would really love to put out this podcast today. So I have not like gone crazy, but watch me. The next week, watch me post like crazy, like, ooh, fiance. I'm a fiance. That's insane. That's crazy to say. Oh my gosh. I'm a year older and I'm a fiance. And then next year I'm gonna be a wife, somebody's wife. But no, but no, it was really excited. My friends were amazing. And I think like that's what today's topic is, having your community, having those kind of friends to like who are like there for you no matter what. Like they did not let me I'm a control freak. They made sure I did not know about it. They made sure that, nothing got out to me. Because if it did, I mean a little bit got out to me. I suspected I might be getting proposed to and I had braids in. So I went to go get a wig and I made it into a half wig so I could wear it on my braids. It was crazy, but I love full hair. And I was like, no way. I wish they told me that way I could have gotten a sew in or something. But, it was what it was. I looked beautiful. It was beautiful. It was great. I cried a little bit. My fiance was like, oh, I was about to run away, which I wasn't about to run away. I was just shocked because, like, I think I walked in and I saw his parents like at the door, like sitting inside. But in my luck for the past like 2 weeks or so, I've had the shittiest luck like recording. And if you guys have any advice on this, like I would appreciate it. But like this thing died and I recorded for 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes straight without no audio. So we're doing it again. But no, yeah. Any advice, I would appreciate it because I'm losing motivation slowly because of this. Like I'm either having a problem with storage or like audio or like, the podcast equipment. So anyone wants to help me and be a team on this, I'll really appreciate it. But back to the story. So, like I said, I walked in and like his parents were like at the door and I got scared. Because I was like, what is going on? Why is your parents here? Maybe they were like hidden. I wouldn't have not been as nervous. But like I was very nervous. And I was crying. And then my friends came out and it was so sweet. Sorry, I've told this story like so many times. And I'm like, ah! But no, they came out and the photographer and everybody, and it was really nice. And my mom cooked, and if you know me, you know my family. My mom does not cook for me. Sorry, I have to keep an eye on this mic so it doesn't die again on me, because I will flip out. But no, my mom does not cook for me, and like that day, she was cooking and she was like, "Oh, it's for your birthday. It's for your birthday," because it was my birthday. And I'm like, "You've never cooked for me." And her excuse for not cooking for me was because like she believes that I'm a woman and I should be able to cook for myself. She will legit cook for everybody else, any stranger, any guest, before she cooks for me. Insane, right? But no, I was really shocked and I love my mom's food. And she made every single one of my favorite foods. And I felt really special. And I'm like, who died? Like, why is everyone being so nice to me today? Um, but yeah, I suspected a little bit, and yeah, it was really nice. I'm a fiance. No, no, really like, oh no, oh no. Maybe next year I'll be a wifey, or 27, I'll be a wifey. We'll see. But no, it was quite eventful, and I'm so thankful for my friends for like being able to pull all of that off, because they were the one that were like behind the scenes, like getting everything together. And that brings me to our first episode today, like friendship. Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea how grateful I am for my friends. Like they mean the world to me. The way they, show out and show up for me. You know, they're like, we have a what's up chat and I call them my tribe. They're my village. They're my second family. And moving away from them was a lot for me. The week before my birthday, the reason why you guys didn't get an actual recording or like a podcast that week, I was depressed. I was sad. I was like, it's a week coming up to my birthday. I wasn't around my friends. Um, you know, I love my partner, but I miss my friends. So that was like a lot for me to like go through. But yeah, no, it was quite an exciting birthday. I had a lot of fun. I became a fiance. Guys, the ring is gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can see it properly, but it is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like I love it. I love the design. Um, he picked well. Uh, but no, I love him so much. He's an amazing guy. Um, you know, even deciding that to be with him, my friends were part of that decision. Like, oh, he's a great guy, be with him. But no, there was a lot of behind the scenes. But no, no, no. I love my friends. They put all the stop. And that's one thing. Like making friends in your 20s or your mid 20s, it's hard. It's hard. Especially in a new town, especially being an adult in a new town. It's not easy. No. Um, you know, it's always I think like one thing I do. What was that? What was I trying? Guys, this podcast is so imperfect, and I love it. I love it so much. But no, honestly, it feels lonely making friends in your 20s in a new town. Um, because you don't know where to start. Sometimes you don't know what avenue to take. Like you don't know how like for me, I have my friends in Atlanta and Georgia who I'm like, okay, it took me years to build that. It took me time to go, this is my community, these are my people. And for me to recreate that, I don't think I'll ever be able to recreate that. Those are my children's aunties and uncles right there. Um, but making friends in your mid 20s or your early 20s or your 20s is all about being intentional because we don't have that infrastructure, that built-in structure of school, like where you go every day, where you have to make friends, where you have to talk to people. We don't have that anymore. So you have to be intentional and you have to give yourself grace. That's one thing I tell myself every day. You know, I'm very hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist sometimes. So I have to give myself grace. I have to tell myself that it's okay. You're not doing so bad. It's okay. You're mid 20s. Ouch. Whew. But you're not doing so bad. And starting over isn't like as easy as some people make it look. Because for me, until I moved away from my unit of people, from my tribe, I didn't realize that like my whole world was like wrapped around the people I saw every day. Um, like, to make me happy, to make me uppity. I had friends who would come over and be like, let's do this. And they'll give me bursts of energy. Like, I didn't realize that until I moved away. And I was like, damn, I have to do this by myself. And yeah. And like, most of the time, I have to hype myself up to do things. And that also comes giving yourself grace. I'll tell myself, you got to be confident. Don't act desperate. you know like try, put that first foot forward first, if that makes sense. First foot first. Yeah, that's a weird that's a weird way to say that, but no, like, be intentional. um Being in your 20s and making friends or making connections, you have to be very intentional. And that's been hard. It's not Making friends is not in your 20s is not as easy as, oh, you're cool, want to be friends. No, it's not. Because you want to make sure you're evaluating these people, which comes with positive and negative traits. Like, you got to make sure they're not a narcissist, not a manipulator, you know? And like making friends is like dating too. One thing I've been doing to like help myself is Bumble BFF. Okay, disclaimer, Bumble BFF. When you match with somebody, if you're listening to this and you're on Bumble BFF, when you match with somebody, please reply, respond. And if you're not feeling the vibe, unmatch. Like, I would have people like, they'll match with me first, or like, I match and I see them when we match together, and I message them. They don't answer. And then they go, oh yeah, I'm never on here. Then why do you have that? Or like I'll have someone like that I'm like, okay, I like them, I swipe, and they match with me later, and they never message me. And I'm just like, okay, okay, cool. You just thought I was pretty or what? But no, like please, just reply. But no, Bowman Fear Fest is a good avenue to, making friends and meeting people. Side note, Love Island. I know. Huda, Huda. How do you say Huda? Girl, I love Huda. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Huda hater. I love her. I love her vibes. I think she's cute. 5 foot, 5'4", or whatever you want to say her height is. She's adorable, chaotic. She makes it interesting. But she has terrible friends in that villa because they're all sitting there talking about her behind her back, but no one is like telling her shit. Like no one is holding her accountable. Like my friends, they hold me accountable greatly for everything I do. Um, Even when I'm dating or meeting new people, I have to know that there are people in your life that can hold you accountable. And no one in that villa, they keep saying, "Oh, sisters, we're sisters," but none of them is holding her accountable. They're all like, I'm not gonna say allowing her, but like they're letting her do things and like enabling her. Like, yes, girl, yeah, he was wrong. Like, and yes, Huda is a liar, a manipulator, and a narcissist. But the only person in that villa that's been holding Huda accountable and like to her shit is Ace. And I don't even like Ace like that because I think he's a game player. But no, like they need to. And Jeremiah, that's another topic. Like that man, he's such a love bomber, and I think that's just his personality. I also think he's a game player too, but he's such a love bomber that I feel like Huda is a mother who didn't date for a while and everything, and she got somebody who's love bombing her, and she's a narcissist and a liar because that was crazy. Yeah, he said he's gonna move in with. He wants me to move in. He never said that. He never said that, Huda. Like, girl, or like, I think she was not to spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I think like when they did the door opening thing, recoupling, and she was like, "Oh, he never like wanted. He said he doesn't want to be with you, Iris. He doesn't want to touch you. He doesn't want to sleep." I thought that was just wrong and foul, and like, Huda, please get it together. And like the girls in the villa, I need you guys to hold her accountable. You guys can't just be talking behind her back and not hold her accountable. And that's something that's very important in friendships. Like you need friends around you that can hold you accountable for your shit. Because you can't be around enablers. I swear, all my life, all my college years, not all my college, most of my college years, I was around enablers. I was around a lot of different type of people because I was around jealous girls too. Like, oh, there was like this season. I won't say a season. It was just me. That's how I was brought up. I'm Nigerian. When you step out of the house, you have to look put together, right? So when I would step out of the house or like meet them, I'll look put together, and I love fashion a little bit back then. I love fashion a lot. So I would like dress up, and it became a issue in my friend group where they'd be like, "Oh, guys, we're going out for tea or something," and they'll make a disclaimer. It's just tea. Make sure you like blessing. Make sure. So those little comments that they'll make started to get to me. Like we will. I had this one friend had a birthday, and she was like, "Remember, it's my birthday. Like, don't overdress. Don't dress more than I am." Or like they will all ask me, "What are you wearing, Blessing?" So we can know how to dress, or like know what, so we can beat that. Like wear something better than that, or like it was just stuff like that that just got to me. So be careful who your friends are. Be careful to put yourself around people who make you small, but also be careful to put yourself around people who put you on such a high pedestal that like it might turn into jealousy. So be careful. I dealt with a lot in college. It was not fun. It took a toll on my mental health because I didn't know who my real friends were. One minute they were smiling in my face, the next minute they were talking shit behind my back. And that affected my self esteem a lot because I didn't feel good enough for them. And I was always trying to please them because I'm like, okay, if I did this, they're going to like me. If I did this, they're going to, until I, got closer to my tribe now. And they hold me accountable. For a while, they didn't. I'm not going to lie. Maybe because I was just perfect. But no, for a while, they didn't hold me accountable. They didn't call me out on my shit. But, after we got to know each other more, because most of my friends that I've had now has been for 5 years or so. Um, they hold me accountable, and they're people I will go to if my world was falling apart, and I know I can trust them to hold me up. Because they have. There have been scenarios where they've been put to the test. Because I'm very dramatic. They've definitely been put to the test. But no, like having that community for yourself is amazing. Um, you know, friendships where you feel vulnerable. I feel like with Huda's case, she feels vulnerable with the girls, right? Because that's why she can say what she can say, but they don't feel vulnerable or safe with her because she does not make that village safe at all. So, yeah, look out for friends like that. Like I said, I love my friends to the T, to the nine. um, they are everything to me. My family, my sisters. But yeah, I'm so grateful. What I can say is just try to be consistent as much as you can. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are. Be intentional and give yourself grace. My friends always say I'm not an opportunist because you never find me trying to like take advantage of anybody because that's just not who I am. And all friendship don't no not everyone has to be your best friend. That's the truth. Not everyone has to be your best friend. Not everyone has to be buddies with you. You can have friends for different occasions. Like I have friends for brunch. I have friends for I love anime, so I have friends who like I do my anime stuff with. I have friends who I go out with and get drunk and go to clubs. I have friends who I can just sit down, have a good glass of wine, and like relax and have deep conversations. And I have friends who I can goof around with. So, you know, find your people, if that makes sense. And they all don't have to like go together. And that took me a minute to like it took me a while to like understand because I always try to like intermingle my friends. But yeah, no, like I said, as I'm learning how to make friends in my mid-20s in a new town, I'll bring you guys along because it's not easy. And yeah, you just gotta be intentional and give yourself grace, like I said. But yeah, just for you guys to remember that, friendship should fill you, not drain you, okay? And keep your head up. Like I said, be more intentional and give yourself grace. You don't have to be on 24/7. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Since I'm having a lot of technical difficulties, I'd love to put this out before anything happens. So if you're listening to this and thinking, dang, I've been feeling super disconnected lately, I'm new to town and I don't know anybody, I don't have anybody, I want you to know this, there is hope. Like I said, places like Bumble BFF, you can definitely find friends on there. Interacting in real life, like the gym or like the market or like events. I know like my town throws a lot of events, so I'm gonna make that effort to go out there and meet those people. It's gonna be very hard for me, but I'm definitely gonna put in that effort. And please hear me, like I said, you're not alone, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. You just have to be more intentional and give yourself grace, like I keep saying. And it's just a season, it's gonna pass. All seasons pass. And sometimes you just gotta reach out, gotta give yourself permission to just say yes. Oh, another thing I'm gonna do this week, I'm going out with like 2 of my friends in DC here, and I'm gonna give myself a yes day. A day where I just say yes to everything and not be so anxious. And also like challenge myself to like speak to 3 strangers. Good luck. I'm gonna need all the luck I can get for that. But yeah, like I said, give yourself grace when it feels hard, and making friends in your 20s, you got to be intentional. Um, but yeah, those are all the things I have to say before I have another technical difficulty. No, but all right, guys, that's today's ride. Making friends as an adult is very awkward, but it's very awkward and uncomfortable. But it's also such a beautiful thing once you push past the initial awkwardness and initial weirdness and all of that. Having friends who you can sip wine with and talk about your inner thoughts and all that. Or talk about the new episode of Love Island. Adult friendships are really beautiful. So if this episode speaks to you, share with somebody who might be in similar situation. And if you found a new friend lately, shout out to you and shout out to them. And we love growth over here. We love growing, and I hope that you guys can follow me on my growth and my journey into finding my friendships here in DC. Um, so yeah, as always, new episodes every Wednesday. I promise I'm gonna try my very best to put out an episode every Wednesday. So hit the follow button, subscribe, leave a review, let me know how it is. And if you're feeling cute, I'll catch you next week on another ride. Love y'all. Keep going. You got this. Remember, it's all about intentionality and giving yourself grace. All right. Thank you for coming on the ride, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Oh, also, remember, do not drink and drive. But cheers.